This podcast contains explicit content.
Let's begin the show by starting it.
Hardly focused.
This podcast is hardly focused.
And it gets significantly more vulgar.
Dissecting the news one tangent at a time.
When there's nothing left to burn, you have to set yourself on fire.
It's a good book. On tape? Ooh, it's read by Larry King.
Hi, I'm Larry King. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without Zaire begat Phineas. Phineas begat Abushua. And Abushua begat Ahimaaz. Ahimaaz begat Amariah. Onward, Amariah begats Ahitub. Ahitub begat Shalom begat Hilkiah. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Well, that's it. My old friend Duke Zebra's standing by. We'll get some coffee. We'll get some matzo ball soup. I love the San Antonio Spurs, by the way. If you're betting in the NBA this year, I think they're going to win it all. So I guess there's nothing more to say, but...
Why? What did he do? How did he die?
Well, there's Nerd Drop playing there, but for some reason it's really quiet. So, and I don't know how to stop it. Oh, well, welcome to Hardly Focused. It is the 489th episode. It is the 24th of January with Jack Gill and Mike Terrara, just the two of us today.
You and I.
It's a important day. And it's going to be a packed episode, I'll tell you that right off the bat. But it's an important day because...
a Green Bay Packers episode? What?
Because I will begin the episode with turning it over to Mike Terrara. Mike Terrara, the floor is yours.
Oh, the floor is mine? Thanks for giving me any advance warning for this.
That was the point.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about some stuff today, and there's some things.
Well, I give you the floor because the presidency of one Donald Trump is over. It is something that I know you have been looking forward to for a very long time.
For about 4.5 years, yeah.
You have been largely accurately calling out all of the things that have eventually happened. The impeachment, the
Mike Trinomus, yeah, I know it's not Nostradamus, but it has a ring to it.
The impending conviction, if all goes well.
Yep, I'd say 3 to 6 months we'll see somebody getting some extra bracelets, and by somebody I mean more than one person in the Trump household.
And I will forever remember you talking about Trump's first chief of staff, rinse Priebus.
Oh, you got to rinse your Priebus. Yeah.
Yes. I say that all the time.
Don't forget to rinse your Priebus.
And I think I'm better off not knowing exactly what the Priebus is.
If you don't know what the Priebus is, I feel bad for you. I mean, it's a pretty nice thing.
What you're saying is I don't have one.
Or you don't know how to use it. One of the two.
I didn't know I had that. I have a bunch of muscles I didn't know I had. But now that we're about 4 days into the new presidency, what do you think? How you feeling?
Calmer a little bit. I oddly enough, right before I started the show, I quickly flashed on Facebook, and a very, we'll politely put it, conservative person of mine was like, oh, 3 days in and we're already doing this, and welcome to the depression of the Biden depression coming in the next 6 months. I'm like, listen, buddy, you may disagree with policy, but at least you're not waking up at 2 a.m. with what the fuck is this goddamn tweet storm today? And at least somebody can speak in complete sentences and offer, even if it's just cursory, an actual level of sorrow, remorse, and empathy when some tragedy befalls America. Okay? So you know what? I'll take that as a fucking win right now.
It is very nice to check CNN.com as I normally do and not see
liberal media, fake news.
Not see an article about Trump be
Nazi? Nazi? Did you say Nazi?
Nazi?
Oh, certainly a bunch of those around still.
Well, I said this a few weeks ago. I'll say it again: is that the MAGA movement, the Trump heads, the QAnon maniacs, might as well call yourself neo-Nazis. It's comparable to that.
Yeah, they're like, well, we don't hate the Jews. Like, yeah, you do. You fucking hate Jews. Like, it's all about this democratic worldwide conspiracy of the Jews control the media, and then you're also thinking of their pedophiles, and somehow in a pizza basement. Like, get the fuck out of here. There was a tweet from the Hawaii GOP, of all GOPs. Hawaii has a GOP.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's like, Hawaii, calm down. But they're like, hey, let's not pass harsh judgment on QAnon. They were, even though they were misinformed and misled, they were doing what they thought for, the patriotic duty towards the country. And let me get the whole list. The whole list is them that's getting rocked by everybody on Twitter. Like, shut the fuck up. All right. QAnon can suck my taint. They're not even good enough to suck my balls or my cock. They can suck my taint. All right. They can go fuck themselves literally until they die, because a bunch of QAnon conspiracy theorists are assholes. They're just complete assholes. I don't mean like they have a huge asshole. I mean literally like they've enveloped themselves so that their insides are outsides and their outsides are insides, and it's just one complete sphincter.
Covered in fissures.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's anal fissure city.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's nice to turn on the news and just have the news be boring again. And
yeah, it's relatively boring.
And I honestly haven't heard too much about Trump in the last 3 days. It's the talk now has been the upcoming impeachment trial. We're still dealing with the fallout of the attack on the Capitol, but we really haven't heard anything about what he's done since he left Washington.
No, apparently the next thing we're going to hear about is whether or not he can stay in Mar-a-Lago. Because apparently, according to some people in Florida, they had statutes in the bylaws for the Mar-a-Lago area. And it's like, yes, you can use this as a temporary, quote unquote, hotel for yourself, but you can't make it your permanent residence. You can't live here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have to get the fuck out of here. We don't want you.
Is he welcome in New York?
No, far from it. Everybody in New York, because, I mean, let's be honest. Everybody in New York hated him beforehand, but they was like, whatever. He's a rich asshole. We can deal with it. Now, after all 4 years of them, like, yeah, we fucking told you guys. Like, no, we don't want him back. You can't fucking make us. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Do you think Melania is going to file for divorce?
I think she is going to wait about 6 months, maybe a year. But she already reorganized her prenup when the presidency happened. I think in 2017, I think. She basically made sure that Barron has basically got a full cut of what's going to be left of nothing. But yeah, Barron's got a full cut, and he's going to have familial control of the family business. I think that's what she was worried about. So I think she's got that in the bag. That's really all she is worrying about, is getting her parachute. And I think she was going to cut bait quicker rather than later, because Deutsche Bank doesn't even want to deal with him anymore. That was the last place that was going to give him fucking money. So she's like, I got to cash out now, there's still cash to grab.
Right.
I mean, otherwise, what is she going to do? Just slide into some other rich billionaire? No. They're going to be like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. You use goods.
Do you think Barron is going to be like Billy Madison, where he could have control of the family's
snack packs? All right.
He could have control of the family's company, but instead he spends all day drinking in the pool and yelling at the swans.
I think that's what Eric Trump does already. So maybe he's a bit more like the kid that's getting sprayed. Mister, why are you doing this? I don't know you. That's Barron Trump right there.
I heard that Barron speaks in a very thick Eastern European accent, similar to that of Melania's.
Well, you wonder why, because you pick up what you know and what you're around. So if she's got her parents and then herself and him, he's going to have, my name is Barron Trump. You know, I talk about an Eastern European accent. I'm from Albania. It's okay. You know, you do this. Hey, Suka, get over here. You know, it happens.
It's frightening.
He's going to be, yeah. He's going to be wearing tracksuits for the rest of his life.
He'll look like Nico Bellic.
Yep. Hey, well, you want to go bowling? Okay, let's go bowling.
If you see recent pictures of Barron too, he really is starting to look like what his father looked like back in the 80s. He's starting to develop that same appearance, especially when his hair is slicked. If he's wearing a suit, he really, if you look at like old pictures of Donnie, Barron's starting to look like that.
I can see it now, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly Ivanka fell onto the mother's side of the genetics, but the boys seem to be lining up under the dad's side, and that's just not a good thing. They all have, honestly, their chins. It's their chins. They don't have strong chins. They have very weak chins, and they look like bitches.
There's a China joke in Trump's voice somewhere in that statement, but I will not make it. I am a little ashamed of myself for thinking that at one point Ivanka Trump was hot, especially on.
I mean, it's not. Look. You're allowed to think it. Okay. Everybody does have degenerate thoughts in their head. Okay. As long as you're aware that they're dirty thoughts that need to be expunged from your mind, you're good.
Like during The Apprentice era, like when The Apprentice first started.
Yeah, before you realized it's like when you see a hot chick and then she picks up like a fucking pack of Newports and just starts taking a drag off of Newport. You're like, oh, you just fucking lost a lot of points right there.
God, not even like
that ain't fucking sexy.
Not even the taking a drag off the cigarettes, just pulling out a single cigarette and then just eating it.
That'd be more effective.
So Joe Biden, now our president now for about 4 days. And thankfully, like I said, the news is really boring now, which I'm very happy about. But right off the bat, Biden's communications people came right out and clarified some very important things about what the Biden presidency will look like, hopefully for the next 4 years. I really hope we can get 4 years out of Biden, because remember, he's up there in age. This was a concern that a lot of people had. It's a concern that my dumbass had when I, in the primaries, voted for Mr. Mittens there, despite him being older.
Mr. Mittens. For a second there, I'm like, Mitt Romney? Wait, no, never mind.
And thank God that
Bernie meme.
That meme is it's still funny, but I think,
oh my God, super saturation level, like almost instantaneously. Holy shit.
Yeah. And
like, people are like, let me flood the internet with this so we can like literally drown out anything with tea.
And it took 2 days.
No more Trump.
Yeah. It took 2 days. And I think
you see people like the woman that actually crocheted a miniature version of Mittens Bernie?
No.
It's like a full 3D doll in crochet. And I'm just like, she has to have already known how to make crochet dolls before, because this is not a goddamn way that you can come up with like, hey, let me take the idea of Bernie sitting on a bench with his mittens and then let me just crochet it from never having to crochet a person in 3D before. And it's spot on.
Nice. Wow. I saw someone already got a Bernie tattoo.
Oh.
That's when I think the joke has now been killed.
Yeah.
It took a couple days. I think it's just we're out of things to put Bernie in.
Literally, I've seen a laundry list of Bernie memes, and a lot of them are good. Some of them are great. Some of them are just, you're trying too hard.
Yeah, just bad.
It's like, hey, welcome to Chubb Insurance Agency, and Bernie's sitting outside my office. Like, no, that's not funny, buddy. Like, get the fuck out of here. But I do like they superimposed him on an MMA fighter, and he's doing an arm bar. It's a very disinterested arm bar. I'm like, that's fucking funny right there. That I like.
Yeah.
Or the first GIF that I saw was Jason Momoa doing the flex out with the collapsible chair on the side of the soccer
I've
field.
seen that, yeah.
And it's like it unfolds Bernie just sitting down. Like that's pretty good.
Someone took it's 50 Cent, and I forget what song it is, what music video it is, but he's sitting in his whip, and he laughs at the camera, and then as he speeds off, you see Bernie sitting in the back seat for a split second.
I mean, I gotta tell you this. There's some people that know how to edit photos that make them look really good. There's some edits I've seen of the same kind of quote unquote picture, but one was just like a slap job, and the other one was like a real like, hey, let me blend this in so it looks natural. Those ones are really what sets everything apart. The other ones are just kind of refuse strewn about the wasteland of Bernie meme.
Yep.
But there's some dank memes in the Bernie stash right there.
We're getting to the point now too where I'm looking at normal pictures and I'm hunting for Bernie. Alice in Chains posted a picture it was a band photo, and they posted it the other night, and I swear I spent about 2 minutes scouring it looking for Bernie, and then realized
it's like a Where's Waldo now.
Yeah, and people were leaving comments asking where Bernie was because other bands were posting photos of like their album covers where they superimpose Bernie in there. Like the Goo Goo Dolls were having a field day with it, which is kind of surprising that the Goo Goo Dolls of all bands. So then, Alice in Chains tries to be normal. Like, hey, remember what we look like? Yeah, where's Bernie? Yep. Where is he?
There's a Wired article, and it says the Bernie Sanders meme proves that the internet is resetting. And I think that's true. That's very apt. Like, all right, guys, we need a cleansing. How do we cleanse the internet? How do we literally scrub clean and start from scratch? Well, there's our answer. Bernie every fucking where.
He should be happy too. He really should be happy because the attention
wasn't he just like tickled? He's like, all right, I guess this is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like when the bird showed up on his podium, he's like, I guess I'm Birdie now.
Yeah, he was very he was talking to stupid Seth Meyers on his awful show.
Seth Meyers.
But he likes the memes, but he didn't do like Chuck Norris where he started rambling off his favorite ones. Instead, he started giving credit to the woman from Vermont who created the Mittens.
In which she's like, yeah, guys, I had to close down my shop. I can't make these.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. She's like, yeah, guys, I can't make 50,000 mittens for you. I'm sorry. These are handmade.
I got a coworker whose partner has mittens that were made by that woman, and she's very excited because like she just found them on Etsy and bought them, and then now she owns a de facto piece of history.
She could resell those things for like amazing amount of money right there. Yeah. Oh, I bought them for $30. Really? Sell them for $3,000.
Do it now.
Oh my God. You got it's like when the a-holes go in and buy like 10 PlayStations, and then they go and resell them for thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
like,
fuck those guys.
I'm not going to buy it, but somebody else is.
Yeah. An idiot. Yeah, an idiot will. Oh, it's like Flappy Bird. Remember Flappy Bird?
Oh my God. Yeah. People would resell their iPhones because they deleted the app off of the store. And you're like, oh my God, I need Flappy Bird on my phone. I got it on my old Apple.
They deleted it and you couldn't get it again. Man, I like Fallout Bird. That was the only variant of that I played was Fallout Bird.
Fallout Bird. I did not get Fallout Bird.
Yeah. It was just Flappy Bird, but it was reskinned, and it was the Fallout Boy band members and would play Fallout Boy songs while you played it. And that one both disappeared and is just you can't find it. Like, because with the App Store, if you delete or if an app gets taken down, then you can usually, as long as you look at your account, your Google account or your Apple account, you'll find the app there available to download again. And this is a rare case where Fallout Bird, and I guess Flappy Bird too, taken off the store, and then you lost the ability to download it again, even though you quote unquote own it. So that's we're going back to like 2014 to happier times at this point. Before I lost my focus, if you will. Yeah, the communications folks in the White House making it very clear that things will be different with the Biden administration. So
seeing as they had an actual press conference,
according, where Dr. Fauci comes out and he's all smiles for the first time.
Oh my
ever.
God! Sarah was looking for it because she saw it in her feed, but there was a video and it was a side by side of Fauci in the midst of the Trump. And then Fauci when he came out the other day, and she was like, "It's amazing that it's the same person." He is so despondent in the background, just going, "I can't believe I have to live with myself doing this." And he's out sauntering out like, he just tagged the the high school cheerleader, and he's the high school quarterback. He's like, "All right, we're doing this. All right, we got this. I'm happy." Yeah.
Yeah, he's finally out of his toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Finally fucking got out of it. So the new White House communications director, Natasha Bedingfield. What? You don't like Natasha Bedingfield, really? Or was that just a bad joke?
I think it was the bad joke.
Okay.
It was the bad joke.
Okay. Kate Bedingfield is her name, the new White House communications director. She spoke to 19th News earlier in the week. She says, quote, "I think it's safe to say that you can expect that President Biden is not going to be breaking news at 1 a.m. on Twitter."
I love that, Rev. Just like, yep, we're going to basically keep it to the news hours. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Trump, quote, "Trump gathered so many followers and generated so many clicks by putting forth this really divisive, often hate-filled shock content. So we were never going to try to outdo him in that. That's not who President Biden is." Dude, you really didn't like Natasha Bedingfield, huh? Damn.
No, not at all. Does he like Jen Psaki? Or Jen Psaki?
He's growling. So
ooh, doesn't like the press secretary either, huh?
Well, look, homie.
Hey, look. Nobody can be CJ Craig. Okay, I'm sorry.
Or Sean Spicer.
Oh yes,
he's spitting out alternative facts on day one. That was also.
You mean Melissa McCarthy or actual Sean Spicer?
Yes. That also wasn't the Natasha Bedingfield song I was thinking of. Apparently, "These Words" was the one I had in my head.
That would have been better, actually, sir.
Not unwritten. Know her by name. Don't know the names of her songs. Just trying to remember which ones you hear playing at Kohl's when you're going to buy your pants. Kate Bedingfield goes on to say, quote, "The truth is, we just don't spend a lot of time talking about Donald Trump or thinking about him internally. Most internal calls we have, we don't talk about Trump at all. The majority of them, I think we spend far less time thinking about Donald Trump than I think the media or some in the public may think we do." Which is good because narcissists like Donald Trump want that attention, and he's going to lose his shit if he now knows that they're not talking about him, that they don't care about him.
Yeah, it also helps that he can't emote that because he no longer has any way to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a private citizen? Get the fuck out.
Hey, you might hear about it on his social media platform that he claims he wants to spin up.
Oh, the social media platform he's going to make, just like the better than Obamacare insurance policy he was going to create, or the border wall that he was going to create, or the or the Trump steaks, the Trump casino, or Trump airlines, or yeah.
I mean, I guess he really was a politician. He made a lot of promises and didn't keep a single one.
Well, yeah, not the ones that mattered.
Listen, I see people complaining, the Trump supporters complaining, and I'm not gonna name people here, but so I there's a lot of them I've unfollowed on the social media, but one of them, a very ardent. Okay, we're past Natasha Bedingfield. You can stop. Jesus. God damn it. Ardent Trump supporter that I follow on Facebook, and it pains me to know that they are so heavy in their belief. And they listed off all of, it was a really facetious post about like, oh yeah, good riddance to Donald Trump, and then listing off like Trump's accomplishments. And one of the ones that stuck out to me was, you know, the price of oil. And how that's going to go up now under the Biden administration. You know why that doesn't apply to me? You know why I don't care? Because I don't drive anymore. I don't need to drive 40 miles to and from work every day. I don't need to worry about that anymore. And I probably will never have to worry about that again, thanks to working from home no longer being a stigma.
Oddly enough, thanks to Trump.
Yeah.
A roundabout way. Literally, the reason a lot of people are never going to have to actually go back to work is because he fucked up so bad where it was not a, hey, we're going to close the office for a month and be back to the office. It's, hey, we've got to close the office. And it's going to be physically more than a year.
Same.
I hesitate to go back to the water bottle that I have in my loft to see what it looks like.
Just moss.
Like there's gonna be
mold.
like a small ecosystem, like on Bender's ass, you know, like he's gonna be God, and there's gonna be a little it's the Almighty coming to wash me away down the sink.
I've straight up told my boss I will go in on Wednesdays, maybe Fridays, and I told her, I just told her, I'm like, that's what I'm doing. You can tell me no, I'm still going to do that. There's no reason for me to go in. I do a lot of conference calls every day, and I'd have to be fighting and having to yell at people to get out of conference rooms, whereas I can just sit in my home office, my studio here, and just do them all from here and not have to worry about that. If anything, that is a positive that came out of the pandemic, is that it made my working life a whole lot easier. So, and now I don't need to get gas. I can't tell you when I last got gas because I don't drive. In fact, you know what I do? I spend more time sitting in my car, and I know this is bad, but I spend more time sitting in my car and letting it idle because I've gone out to like freckle bitches and got food and just sat in my car and ate.
She appreciates being called freckle bitches, by the way.
So, let's regroup. There's a whole lot more that has happened in the past week. I'll tell you this. Setting aside, articles and things every day as opposed to all at once makes getting these podcasts a lot easier to put together. Increases the pool of content from which we can pick. I do want to mention real quick. So at the very beginning of the episode, the clip I played from The Simpsons, where Larry King passed away just yesterday, actually, at the age of 87. He's been on my personal death watch for a long time, especially since he's been accidentally announced as having died at least once.
Yeah, exactly. How long has it been since he's been on your death list? Like there's a lot.
Wooter's death pool. I think he showed up every year.
Oh my God, yeah.
But we lost Larry King yesterday, and we also lost an actress by the name of Mira Flynn earlier in the week at the age of 65.
Some people will be like, "Who's Mira Flynn?"
She was on Babylon 5, and I gotta tell you this. I was just straight up saying I never watched Babylon 5. In fact, I don't think I've watched anything that she was in. However, at a convention maybe like 5 years ago, we had a bunch of interviews set up for this podcast, and Mira was one of those interviews. And I think, nervous to talk to her only because I was afraid I was going to butcher her name. And that was like the first thing that I mentioned in the interview was, did I say your name correctly? Because I probably didn't. And thank God Fro was with me when we did this interview, because Fro was still heavy on the conspiracy theory about Beauty and the Beast having the underlying theme of Stockholm Syndrome, and brought that up during like the first 2 minutes of the interview, which got her attention. And Fro and Miss Flynn spent that entire interview talking about Beauty and the Beast, talking about Stockholm Syndrome, and I'm pretty sure they were flirting. And it was a great memory, and she was a sweetheart, and it was very shocking.
If I know Fro, they were fucking.
It was a shock to see she passed away. So condolences to her family, and also Larry King's family. Obviously, it's a whole lot of death, whole lot of passing, whole lot of people to remember in these last couple of years. But and that convention too. That was a fun day. I don't know if you went with us, Mike. I don't think you were there.
No, I don't think so. Not in that one.
We interviewed RJ Mitty from Breaking Bad, and I had my photo taken with Gus Fring himself, and he was terrifying.
I mean, I've been to one that we did talk to RJ. I don't think we went into the Gus Fring area, but I remember we did the Doug Jones interview. That was the last interview sesh that I did with you guys a while ago.
Yes, you. I think you did that one. I wasn't there for that.
Yes, and he absolutely loved it because I didn't call them masks. I called them prosthetics, and he was like, "Oh, you're not an asshole. I'm going to talk to you." And he just dove right in at that point. I'm like, all right, we got you hooked.
Nice. All right. Coming up, we have a segment that we do on this show called How Fucking Dumb Were You? That will be later on in this episode. And coming up is our music segment that we do every week called Hardly Shuffled. And you can find our Hardly Shuffled playlist and follow along at hardlyfocus.com/shuffled. This is where we every week pick our favorite songs, the ones that we're currently listening to, and we feature them here on the show. So we will have that coming up for you. Do you ever see anything other than a number 2 pencil?
This podcast is Hardly Focused.
I'm sorry, I went to art school, so I can't.
I worked at an art supply store, so I don't know. Yeah. Number 2 is the best one that shows up on Scantrons back in the 60s, so that's what they use.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
That's one of those comments too that I made, not expecting a full-blown discussion.
The history of the number 2 pencil as brought to you by Hardly Focused.
The Hardly Focused web store, featuring Hardly Focused branded shirts, stickers, and face masks. Spend some of your hard-earned money at hardlyfocused.com/store.